There's a reason why some people remain unshaken, no matter what life throws at them. Imagine it. The world hurls chaos their way. People insult them. Plans fall apart. Setbacks come one after another. Yet they stay calm, as if untouched by the storm. What do they know that others don't? Most people, perhaps even you, navigate life in a constant state of reaction. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Instant anger flares. A coworker makes a passive-aggressive comment. Your entire mood shifts, poisoned. A stranger gives you a strange look on the street. Suddenly, self-doubt creeps in, whispering insidious questions about your worth. It's exhausting, isn't it? This endless dance of stimulus and response, where your inner peace feels perpetually hostage to the whims of the outside world. You feel like a ship tossed on stormy seas, desperately trying to find calm waters that never seem to arrive. But what if you could be free from all of it? What if no person, no situation, no external force had the power to disturb your peace ever again? What secret allows some to stand firm, like ancient mountains, while others are swept away, like dust in the wind? Is it a superpower, a genetic lottery win, or something deeper? It's something learnable, something you could master. The truth, often buried beneath layers of societal conditioning and psychological defense mechanisms, is that most people are prisoners, not of circumstance, but of their own reactions. Carl Jung, the pioneering psychiatrist who delved into the depths of the human psyche, recognized this profound entrapment. He observed that most individuals believe the world is acting upon them, inflicting pain, frustration, or insecurity. But in reality, Jung suggested, they are simply reflecting what they have yet to master within themselves. Think about it. Nothing can truly affect you unless it finds something inside you to cling to. An unresolved echo, an unhealed wound. If someone calls you stupid and you erupt in anger, it's likely because a hidden part of you, perhaps buried deep in your unconscious shadow, fears it might be true. If someone ignores you and you feel a pang of hurt, it's often because a part of you still seeks validation from others, a reliance you haven't yet outgrown. This is the mechanism of the shadow self, those disowned parts of our personality, the fears, insecurities, and desires we refuse to acknowledge consciously. When the external world mirrors these hidden aspects back to us, we react, not to the external event itself, but to the disowned part of ourselves it has illuminated. The world isn't the cause of the disturbance. It's merely the trigger, revealing an existing internal state. It's not acting upon you. It's acting through the unexamined landscape of your own mind. This realization is often uncomfortable, which is why so many run from it. We engage in what psychologists call shadow work, the often arduous process of bringing the unconscious into the light, or more commonly, we avoid it entirely. We learn to suppress these triggers, ignore the signals, or, most conveniently, blame the outside world. We point fingers at the rude driver, the insensitive colleague, the unpredictable market, or just plain bad luck. It feels easier, safer, to accept that life is inherently unfair, or that others are deliberately causing our pain, than to confront the possibility that we are the ones giving our power away, allowing external events to dictate our internal reality. This constant blaming and reacting keeps us trapped in a cycle of suffering. We become experts at managing symptoms, avoiding certain people, controlling our environment, seeking constant distraction. But we never address the root cause, the unexamined, reactive patterns within our own consciousness. We spend our lives building elaborate defenses against a world we perceive as hostile, never realizing the hostility often originates from the unacknowledged conflicts within. Cognitive biases reinforce this. We selectively notice events that confirm our victimhood, strengthening the neural pathways of reactivity until it becomes an automatic, unconscious response. We live under the illusion of control, believing that if we can just arrange the external world perfectly, we'll find peace, blind to the truth that the chaos we fight is often a projection of our inner turmoil. But what if you chose a different path? What if, instead of running, blaming, or suppressing, you turned inward? Imagine, for those brave enough to stop pointing fingers and start observing their own internal landscape, a new kind of freedom becomes available. This is the rebellion, not against the world, but against your own conditioned reactions. It starts with a radical shift in perspective. The external world is fundamentally neutral. It isn't inherently good or bad, kind or cruel. It simply is. The meaning, the charge, the emotional sting that comes entirely from the lens through which you view it, the internal state it activates. Consider the wisdom of the Stoics, who taught that it's not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Or the insights of Zen masters, who emphasized observing thoughts and feelings without attachment, like clouds passing in the sky. When you stop needing the world to be a certain way, for people to like you, for plans to succeed, for life to be predictable, you reclaim an immense amount of energy. You stop being controlled by external validation or circumstance. This detachment isn't about becoming cold or emotionless. It's about becoming unshakable, untouchable. You still feel, you still experience, but you are no longer hijacked by those feelings. You become immune, not because you've built thicker walls, but because you've dissolved the inner hooks that external events use to latch onto. You realize the power was never truly out there to begin with. This leads us to the ultimate truth, the final, most powerful realization that redefines reality itself. The only thing you ever truly have control over is your perception and your response. Carl Jung grasped this profoundly when he stated, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." What he meant is simple yet earth-shattering. As long as you remain unaware of the unconscious stories, fears, and wounds driving your behavior, your shadow self, you will keep reacting blindly. You'll believe life is just happening to you, a series of fortunate or unfortunate events, never realizing how much of it is happening through you, through the filter of your unexamined mind. Think of the person who insults you. The pain isn't in their words. Words themselves are just vibrations in the air. The pain arises from the meaning you assign, the old wound it touches, the story about yourself it seems to confirm. If you were truly at peace, deeply secure in your own being, the insult wouldn't land. It would be like shouting at a mountain. The sound echoes, but the mountain remains unmoved. The greatest power isn't found in controlling the world, silencing critics, or avoiding discomfort. That's an exhausting, unwinnable battle. The true power comes from cultivating an unshakable mind, a mind grounded in awareness, a mind that understands this simple truth. All control begins and ends with perception. This isn't just philosophy, it's backed by neuroscience. Cognitive psychology shows emotional reactivity is a learned habit, reinforced by neural pathways. But the brain is plastic. Through practices like mindfulness, cognitive reframing, and intentionally facing discomfort instead of fleeing, you can rewire these patterns. You can train your awareness. Over time, insults lose their sting. Failures lose their power to define you. Uncertainty ceases to terrify. You stop being a piece moved around the chessboard of life, reacting to every external move. You become the player, observing the board, choosing your moves consciously. Or perhaps, even higher still, you become the observer, watching the entire game unfold from a place of serene detachment. This isn't numbness. It's sovereignty. It's the paradox of surrender. The moment you stop desperately chasing control over the uncontrollable external, you gain true power over the only thing that ever mattered, your internal state. And when you master your inner world, the outer world fundamentally changes in response. The question isn't how to change the world to suit you, but how to change yourself so the world no longer holds power over your peace. Master your reactions, and you master your reality.